Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca, and if you've never met me before, we do houseplant things here. And today, we are plant shopping in Colorado Springs. I'm so excited. I am here crashing Daniel's work trip with Nora, so we're gonna go in. I found a couple different places, and one of you messaged me a bunch of these, so thank you. Our first stop on this adventure is Phelan Gardens, Phelan. I don't know if I'm saying it right. This one is a nursery, so we can expect outdoor plants too, but okay, let's go inside. Something that I am just absolutely loving nurseries for is how cool some of their displays are. I just love all of the plant products that you can buy because you're a plant lover. Like, these posters are so beautiful and would be so cute in a plant room framed. I just love it. I also love little accessories that you put on the pots. That's the point where I'm at with houseplants, is I'm like less interested in the plants themselves and more interested in how I can accessorize them. Like, this pot with the little feet was so cute. You know, I got to check for a drainage hole, and there was a drainage hole. Thank goodness. Of course, I can't buy anything because I had an absolutely stuffed suitcase and was out of town. But as we walk into the actual greenhouse, the vibes were immaculate. I have to say that every single hanging plant in this nursery was absolutely beautiful. They had this really big Hoya section, and the star of the show for the Hoya section, in my opinion, was this Wayettii. It was so beautiful and so full. And honestly, I really don't know who their supplier is for these hanging plants, but I genuinely hope that the supplier is similar here in Oklahoma, because I do need some new hanging plants, and I was absolutely obsessed with these neon philodendron. I think that the neon philodendron is my favorite hanging plant right now because it's just so striking and gorgeous. They also had a really nice section of like larger low light plants and a bunch of these little alien statues all over the place. That's another fun thing about nurseries, is they'll have like cute little decor like that. I also recently trashed my Scindapsus moonlight, and this gave me inspo for maybe trying again. This is the same fern that I have, like my really, really big fern I had in the greenhouse. So love to see that. And also, I did have Nora for me on this trip, and she was living her best life once I put her down. I had her in a carrier, and once I put her down, she was so much happier. Also, I've never seen a Peperomia prostrata that big in my life. And now we get over to the bonsai section, which I thought was so cool. I've never had a bonsai plant, and is it something that I want to have eventually? Of course, I'll probably go for something around this size, little, so I can shape it into something cool. But I've also been really into the idea of doing like a non-traditional bonsai. Anyway, there were so many big, beautiful billetiers. I feel like the billetier is a plant that has become a lot more accessible. I don't exactly know why. Maybe it's been tissue cultured, but I will say that I just see them so much more often, and very, very big ones at that. This is, I believe, the Scindapsus silvery Ann. It looks a little bit different than the Exotica, but it's just such a beautiful plant. Again, more hanging baskets. Look how gorgeous. I also recently trashed my variegated Epipremnum pinnatum because it was just looking horrible, and it really didn't do well in the move. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But look at this jade. What is this? Jewel orchid. This jewel orchid might have turned me. Like, I am not really into jewel orchids, but this one makes me want to get a Wardian case. And back to the hanging plants. This is a silver stripe philodendron, and if I'm not mistaken, a couple months ago, these were selling for like a lot of money, just like a small little strip. And anyway, back to this Epipremnum, this gave me a lot of hope that I will be able to get another one for a decent price, because these big, beautiful full plants were only $40. So love to see that. There was also a small cactus section in this area, and I absolutely loved it. There was a lot of euphorbia, a couple of hanging cactus, but generally just lots of cool euphorbia, as you can see here. I love these euphorbia. I filmed this video over the course of a couple days because I have a small child, and it was just a lot to bring her around to every single place. So just enjoy the views of what we were seeing as we were driving around. It was such a beautiful area. Colorado Springs is gorgeous. I feel like everywhere I looked, there were beautiful, beautiful mountains covered in snow. It was amazing. The next place we went to was the living room, which I feel like the living room is very, very wonderfully named because the vibes as soon as you walked in were just so cozy, like cozy on level 10. I loved the light coming in, and I absolutely loved this philodendron silver sword. It actually inspired a video idea that I have, which is plants that I love but am not going to own. I've already made other versions of that video, but I need to do another one because there's more that I want to add after doing all this shopping. I absolutely love looking at the pot selection, really at any plant place, again with the accessories, but I feel like shops always have like really, really cool selections. And this plant right here is a pothos. This is literally just a pothos. And if you're new to the houseplant scene, that might seem crazy to you, but these are plants that climb, and when they have the ability to climb, they will just have massive leaves, and sometimes they'll even get fenestrations. I need to track down where they got these cocoa blocks, because it's a cocoa block, but it's like a long rectangle, like a pole, and I feel like that would just be so perfect. Anyway, this shop was just really, really well designed and just so cozy. They had so many beautiful things. I love a free potting station, love the art and the macrame. Something that I really loved as well were these like little round speckled pots. They did not have drainage, so that was a bummer for me. Not that I was going to be able to buy anything, but the real bummer is that I was not able to bring home one of these stools. I've been looking for like tiny stools to elevate my plants that are on the floor, like ever so slightly, because I just don't like having my plants on the floor. Anyway, I had to leave it behind. Nora and I did go visit the zoo, and I just wanted to put in these clips so that you could see how cute this zoo, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, was. So beautiful. If you're ever in the Colorado Springs area, I highly, highly suggest. Next up, we went to Rick's Garden Center, which, listen, if I'm being completely honest, they had a really great pottery section. I love that they had the marbled pottery. I don't know exactly who the maker of this is. It's obviously like a mass-produced pottery, but I have two really big pots with this design, and I love them. Like these two right here, these two big bell-shaped pots. They're so beautiful. Off to the side from the actual shop section is the greenhouse, and this parallel peperomia was so cute. I feel like I only ever see those as fake plants that honestly look so real. I don't even know if I would want to buy the real one. There was some really cool terrariums. This one in particular had a little waterfall in it, which was so pretty, and as you can see, it's just a big, beautiful room with a clear ceiling. So it's like a greenhouse, but it felt a little bit more like a room, if you will. There was a lot of really big leaves. This one in particular was very gorgeous. I love the purpley color, and I also love a philodendron tortum moment. How beautiful is this? They had some really, really big, beautiful plants, some more ferns. I might be turning into a fern girly because I think if I find just the right ones, it'll be good for me, because I just think they're so beautiful. And something that I really loved about this place as well is they had a bunch of terrariums with reptiles in them, and I just thought that was so cool. I love a big blue star fern. I have wanted one of these for a really long time, and I wish that I could have bought this one because it was huge, but I will see if I can find one here in Oklahoma. Also, I love a not for sale plant. This Billy was not for sale, totally a display plant, but it was looking so good. This plant as well, I think this is, hold on, I'm about to show the name. It's like a deflector or reflector, and I thought it was so cool. It had really beautiful velvety leaves. I believe that this is a philodendron jopii, and they had this little greenhouse which had a bunch of like quote unquote rare plants. They had some really big anthurium, and I did get distracted by this gorgeous, gorgeous gloriosum, which they had in long pots, which I really do like to see that they're growing in a pot that the plant will enjoy long term. They also had this really cute cactus room in the back, which was painted yellow, and it totally reminded me of my plant room. They had lots of euphorbia and other, just general cactus, cute little displays, and it was a really great spot. Also, they had a lot of terrarium plants, as you can imagine, with the reptile enclosure situation. Lots of little Phytonia and more jewel orchids. I thought that in general, this was a really great spot. Like, they had a lot of really big plants, which I feel like is kind of hard to find sometimes. And also, I made a personal note for this anthurium because this reminds me of the anthurium that I saw growing wild when I was on my honeymoon in Tulum. and it was so cute. Okay, the last place we're going to is Hapke's Hortum, and it was on this really cute little shopping district, and I absolutely loved the vibes in this shop. Like, this was so amazing. Really, really great and healthy plants, and I love that there were grow lights everywhere. This was actually like a really long, skinny space, so there wasn't actually a ton of natural light, but honestly it didn't feel like that because there were the grow lights and it was well planned and it looked really cool. They also had like a bunch of fun little hats and accessories that you put onto your plants, like these little cowboy hats or cowgirl hats or Christmas hats or whatever. I just thought that was so cute. I've never seen that before, and it would be so cute on top of a cactus. But I do worry about getting stuff like that because I think that it would just make my daughter like more interested to touch the cactus, and we've gotten to a point where she's not super interested in touching them anymore. But I think that's because I let her touch them and then she realized that it hurt. Don't worry, I always watch her when she's around my cactus. Anyway, back to the shop. I loved this pot. I love a wavy saucer. It was just so cute, and I did talk to the owner briefly, and they were really, really kind. This Birkin stole the show. This Birkin made me want to have a Birkin, and I did not buy the Birkin because obviously I'm traveling. But that was the video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and coming along with me plant shopping in Colorado Springs. I have a bunch of other videos of me plant shopping in different cities, and I will link them down below if you guys are interested. But overall, just thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.